2.2.3 recycling is the last section in this journey where we're taking our product through this product analysis cycle. So up to this point, we pulled the product apart, we pulled out different materials, analyzed what the materials were. Then we said, okay, well, how are they produced? How do we get them from raw good to this actual shape? And now we're saying, well, what do we do with it once we're done? So recycling is obviously one of the processes that we're hoping that we can have some sort of end of use life, going back into the product, using the materials again, as opposed to just throwing it in a hole in the ground. So we look at recycling. We look at what the codes mean very briefly. We're not diving too deep into this. And then we take a look at the actual products that we have and say, okay, well, here's this material. What can we do with it? All right. If we do recycle it, how does that work? How does that process actually work? So the presentation that goes along with it has a couple of different symbols that we see at the beginning here, looking at what do these recycling symbols mean, because they're all pretty similar, but they mean different things. So yeah, we want to reduce, reuse, and recycle. And we want to make sure that products that we have are recycled. In certain cases, food grade materials, maybe they can't be recycled if they're not able to be done in a safe and healthy way. So we can recycle most materials, right? It might not mean that we're able to take, say, for example, copper, where we can melt it back in, use it again as copper at the same strength. Plastics, when we recycle them, they tend to lose a little bit of strength out of them. So maybe we use them for something different than the original purpose. But there's different ways that we can come up with another use for them. So you talk about organic, or if we have food grade stuff, we can use that as compost for growing other things. So we can reuse that product. Metals are pretty easy to recycle because of being able to heat them up and use them as that material again. When we look at plastics, there's different types of plastics, and it doesn't work so well to stick them all together, melt them down, or whatever the process is. It's hard to separate those different chemicals. So we end up trying to make sure that those are separated out as the different types of plastics so that hopefully we can recycle some of them. Not all plastics are recyclable, but we're hoping to use more and more that are either recyclable or biodegradable. So coming out of materials that we literally grow, right? Getting from ethanol maybe, or from soy. Ceramics can be reused. They can be ground up and put back into different things. A lot of times roadways, they're actually ground up, put back into some sort of process, whatever it is, and then put back down. So they're able to recycle that by literally reusing it. Maybe that we're using this material for a second purpose. Here they're using it to make an artificial reef. Or maybe we were using it to create a soft ground. So for the students, if they fall, it doesn't end up hurting them. Different areas have different recycling codes. I know in certain states that I've been in, they actually are fined if they find certain recyclable materials in their trash. One of the reasons is because they want to keep that out of the dumps, but also there's money to be made off of recycling. So if you're paying for the recycling and then the city might be getting a little bit of a cut of that material, they're trying to profit from that as well as hopefully help the environment. So you get all the way to the end here, and this is actually something that comes up quite a bit, this product development life cycle. So it is something that the students should know. They should be able to be aware of how it goes cradle to grave, right? That's what we're looking for here.